Clickety click. Clickety click. The point and clicker. Welcome, adventure game lovers. This is Johnny Nice of the Point and Clicker Blogspot trying out something new. This video where I talk about games I have played, just seeing if there is any interest in something like this. There are many streamers out there already. So what am I doing here? I don't know, but well, perhaps you don't always like reading stuff and you prefer watching and listening to things. So that's why I thought, let's give this a try. And here is my review of the first game I've played. Back in 2022, I played The Hand of Glory, a point-and-click adventure game that, to be honest, didn't look like much at first view. But once I got past the rather simple character designs, I discovered it was an amazing story filled with intuitive puzzles that could definitely compete with the likes of Broken Sword and Gabriel Knight. Now, Madit Entertainment and Daring Touch are back with the sequel. I received an advanced copy since I backed it on Kickstarter, but I waited posting about it until the game was officially released. So, here goes. Surprise, surprise! Lars Lazarus Bundy is back from the dead. The main menu of Roots in the Sky offers a handy recap of the first game, and then the new game catches up with our main character in Rome 5 years later, in a new life, with a new identity, away from the people he loves, in order to protect them from possible harm. He has become a bodyguard, but his latest client gets shot under his watch, giving us a new case to investigate. But not before we play through a little flashback scene to Bundy's childhood, to show us how he became the man he is today. After the first hour of gaming, nothing else much has happened except for me cursing at the inventory interface. Roots in the Sky employs a one-click interface, so when you open up your inventory to choose an item, first you need to choose whether you want to actually pick up said item or examine it further. Being more used to two button interfaces with the left mouse button to manipulate and the right button to examine, I kept simply clicking on the object in question and then leaving the inventory again, thinking I had already selected it. I kept forgetting that extra second click. Other than that, I totally love the game. There are many hotspots to interact with or examine. Bundy's character design is greatly improved since the first game, and this is an adventure where you really need to take your time to explore, talk to people, and figure things out. It has a slow rhythm, but it means you can really submerge yourself in this world, take it all in. And you have to, if you want to figure out what you're supposed to do exactly. At the same time, it's a very cinematic experience, playing out as if you're watching a movie, with a captivating soundtrack and excellent voice cast. After 8 hours of playing, what I've been looking forward to most has finally happened. I'm sure it's not a surprise, but of course I'm talking about the return of Alice Sharp. Oh, how much I enjoyed her presence in the first game. And now she and her computer skills are back to assist Lars once again. Not only will you have to tinker around with a variety of computer interfaces, Alice has also further developed her Sherlockian kinesics skills and can determine a person's hidden thoughts just by looking at them and making deductions. As she talks to people, some of her comments will trigger a reaction with them, which could be a tapping foot or an averted glance. You click on those aspects on time, and when you get enough in a row, a deduction screen pops up where you can offer explanations for each of those reactions. Get them all right, and you will have a new approach to deal with that character. If you fail, no worries. You can keep trying until you get it right. So, it's only your own pride at stake. Roots in the Sky automatically switches between Lars and Alice as a playable character when the story requires it. Though later on, there are puzzle situations where you can and have to switch manually. Each of them has their own inventory then. And there were some puzzles where I resorted to taking a picture of the screen because I had to replicate a pattern or code, if you will, in a different location. And I'm bad at remembering such details, even for a short while. And of course, I've been searching the game for my personal digital award as a Kickstarter backer, a newspaper article. There are several newspapers to be found in the game, each with a couple of backer stories, so I made sure to read every one of them. And now we have left Rome for some adventure game globetrotting in search of a killer, and of course their motive behind it all. First stop is an archaeological dig in Jordan. What mysteries will we uncover this time? After Jordan, the globetrotting continues as our heroes travel to India, which is probably my favorite part of the game. Jungle settings always speak more to the imagination, and there's quite some adventuring to be done, finally revealing some of the mythological themes in this story. There was also one cutscene that blurred my eyes, not because something sad happened, but because it was so endearing and sweet. To be honest, I don't rightly know why it touched me so. It doesn't even relate to the general story, but I was very glad the scene was there. But every location in this game has its charms. After India, it was on to Japan. And there is so much attention to detail in both the setting and the characters you meet. This part reminded me a lot of the Thera bits in Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. You also go diving, but finding the exact location of where you should go is one of the puzzles in the game that tripped me up a bit. It was my own fault though, but purely a misinterpretation or wrong assumption on my end regarding the directions. Throughout the game, you already received some glimpses into the personality of this story's villain during cutscenes in between the chapters, displaying him as a very human character. Why then is he so dead set on doing what he wants to do? The finale of Roots in the Sky is very rewarding in revealing it all, and those last scenes are both suspenseful and emotional. And so, the world is once again saved in 14 and a half hours, exactly the same as the first Hand of Glory game. That's quite a coincidence. Or perhaps perfect development by Madit Entertainment and Daring Touch. There wasn't a moment in Woods in the Sky I didn't enjoy. The goals were always clear, the puzzle solutions, sometimes not immediately, the way it's supposed to be, a quality adventure game. But in the end, everything made sense, and it was great fun to play with Lars and Alice again. And that's it for Roots in the Sky, The Hand of Glory 2. Thank you for listening, and now go and buy the game. Have fun! The Point and Clicker.